Alright, I finally got this West Milwaukee police report after 4 months of asking for it to take a look at it. I get it in the mail recently, and it is for obstructing the police. Incident report 24003971. The incident happened May 25th of this year at Target. Well, we call it the Target parking lot, but I mean other businesses are using that parking lot too, so it needs to be investigated. A 48-year-old Aberdeen, Washington male was arrested and cited for loitering and obstructing police after being found in his vehicle in the parking lot of Target at 12:44 while the business was closed, and the male refused to identify himself. And he did a plate check, and I covered up some of the numbers. And it's Jamie Aide with a payroll number. I guess he doesn't have a badge number. It's 270. And it was reviewed by Anthony Munoz, M-U-N-O-Z, Munoz. Alright, narrative. Officer Aide reporting on Saturday, May 25th at approximately 12:27 a.m. while on patrol in marked Squad 5 and in full uniform with department-issued AXON bodycam in use, I observed multiple vehicles in the parking lot of Target. Due to an overnight burglary, WMPD 23-006206, I need to see that report. Target has requested that police clear their parking lot of any vehicles and or persons. So I'm guessing that there was some kind of agreement made from that incident report. I made contact with occupants of each of the previous vehicles in the Target lot, obtained identification, ran them through the National Crime Information Center and Wisconsin Department of Transportation to verify their driving status and to check for any active warrants. I advised them they could not remain in the lot as the business is closed. See 24003970 and 24003968. The parties in the previous calls provided identification and subsequently left without incident. After clearing from 24003970 at approximately 12:44, I observed a gray Ford Focus bearing Washington license plate, also parked in the Target lot. I parked in front of the vehicle and activated my emergency lights and approached the vehicle on foot. As I approached the vehicle, the occupant opened the driver door slightly and placed a GoPro-style camera on the roof of the vehicle, presumably to film our interaction. I made contact with the occupant of the vehicle and requested identification from him as he parked at the closed business. He asked me if I was going to issue him a ticket and also asked if I was private security, and I advised him that I was a police officer. He then asked if I had a contract with the store. He asked again who I was. I told him that I already told him I was a police officer. He then asked for my name, and I told him I was Officer Aide. He would only provide his last name, Hines. Hines also stated he was the owner of the car. Hines told me he could hear something saying things. It should be noted that Target has a surveillance camera with a PA system with flashing blue lights on a pole mounted to a trailer in the parking lots. This surveillance system makes announcements stating the area is under surveillance and the store is closed and to return when the store is open. The surveillance system is visible from anywhere in the parking lot and easily visible from where Hines was parked. I again asked Hines for his identification and he said he could exchange IDs with me. Hines asked me what I was going to arrest him for. I told him that I didn't say that I was going to arrest him. He then said that it sounded like a criminal investigation and that I was doing a Fourth Amendment check. Due to Hines being uncooperative, I asked for a second officer to my location. And then I was written by Aide again, James Aide. Hines again talked about me doing a criminal investigation and asked about a contract with the store to enforce something. I informed him the store did not want people loitering in their lots after business hours. I informed Hines that is why I also spoke with the other vehicles parked in the lot. I again requested ID from Hines and he again said he would exchange IDs with me. Hines said that he wanted to know who I was, and I told him that I had already told him who I was and that I was in full uniform and have a marked police car. Hines continued to refuse to provide me with ID other than his last name. Hines said he liked to help alleviate my concerns about him, and I told him that's what I was trying to do. If he would provide his ID, Hines continued to be uncooperative. Once Officer Taloff arrived on scene, she also attempted to get Hines to furnish his ID. He continued to want to exchange IDs with Officer Taloff and I rather than provide his ID to me. Officer Taloff then asked him to get out of his car and advised him he was being detained until he could be identified. Hines was placed in handcuffs and was walked to Officer Taloff's marked squad. Hines continued to not provide identification more than his last name. Village of West Milwaukee Ordinance 51-10A states in part, loitering or prowling. No person shall loiter or prowl in a place at a time or in a manner that not usual for law-abiding individuals under circumstances that warrant alarm for the safety of persons or property in the vicinity. Among the circumstances which may be considered in determining whether such alarm is warranted is the fact that that the actor takes flight upon appearance of a police or peace officer, refused to identify himself, or manifestly endeavors to conceal himself or any object. In addition, the target parking lot also has numerous signs attached to poles throughout the lot stating Miller Parkway Marketplace Target parking lot, and it's called Miller Parking Lot Marketplace, customer tenant parking only, no overnight parking, no Miller Park event parking, unauthorized vehicles will be ticketed, towed at owner's expense. A photo of one of these signs is attached to this report. Due to Hines refusing to provide identification beyond just a last name and being parked in the lot when I made contact with him at approximately 12:44 a.m., nearly 3 hours after the business had closed during what would normally be considered overnight hours. Hines was then placed under arrest. For obstructing an officer and loitering, Hines was searched and placed in the rear of Officer Taloff's squad and conveyed to the West Milwaukee Police Department for booking, and was issued citations for loitering and for obstructing an officer. During the booking process, Hines was asked multiple times if he would like a courtesy ride back to his car. He declined and only wanted directions to walk back there. Once he was released from custody, I escorted him the front entrance of the West Milwaukee Police Department and provided him with directions to the Target parking lot. I also made contact with him again while he was walking to the Target parking lot, and again asked him if he wanted a ride to his vehicle to get there more quickly. He again declined. Any additional information will be added in a supplemental report. And this is it. There's no picture of a sign. There's no reference to the overnight burglary stuff that he's referring to. You got to ask for all the stuff he's referring to, because this is unknown, because this is all the evidence that I'm being presented right now.